Plugins aren't essential to using Figma effectively, but they definitely can enhance your workflow if you're using the right ones. In this lesson, I'm going to show you my 6 favorite simple plugins for Figma and how I get the most out of them. Number 1, I've mentioned before, and it's Stark. Before we dive in, I'm going to show you how to download plugins from the Figma community. So if you go up into this Figma logo dropdown here, you're going to see your plugins here. These are all of the ones that I've already downloaded from the community. If you don't have any, or if you want to find some other ones, go down here and click on Find More Plugins. Here you can search plugins and really explore different things that the Figma community has to offer. Or you can explore by going into Home and then navigating to the community down here on the bottom left corner, Explore Community. Here you can find things like templates, plugins, and UI kits, and there's always stuff being added, and most of it is completely free. So again, there's a lot that's in here, so don't let yourself get overwhelmed. These aren't essential things to being successful in Figma as a designer, but there are things that can help you speed up your workflow, solve problems that you're working on solving, and things like that. So it's definitely something to look into. Okay, so let's go and check out the first plugin, which is Stark. So I'm just going to find it here in my plugins list and start running the plugin. So what Stark does, what I use it for mainly, is checking the contrast between a background color and a text color to make sure that it is at least AA accessible. So let me show you exactly what that looks like. Let's zoom in here. And I'm going to select on this component here with the off black background and the off white text. Then I'm going to go into contrast. And this is going to measure the contrast between these two colors for me. And it will tell me what guidelines it has passed. It's passed both AA and AAA, so that's great. And we kind of knew that was the case, right? Because it's kind of just a black and white. There probably couldn't be more contrast between colors. So let's try something that's a little different. I'm gonna keep clicking until I get to this component here, this out of stock component, where we have our burnt orange and our off white. So here, large text is approved by both AA and AAA, and normal size text is only approved by AA. So this is a perfectly fine score for me. I would not really recommend changing anything here for your standard site, so we're good to go. But let's check on these because I have a feeling we're going to have a little bit of an issue with this button here. Sure enough, we have an issue. So both normal text and large text do not pass AA or AAA standards. So this is the suggested color, and it's a pro feature. You have to pay for this feature to apply your colors. But an easy way around that is just to screenshot the suggestions and bring them into our file so that now I can go back into this button and sample this color from here. Then once we click into here again, we should see that this passes most of these standards, which is great. And we could do that for all of these if we wanted to. Next is Unsplash. And this is actually super helpful for our Fernie project. So if we wanted to change this living room photo, for instance, I'm just going to select on the rectangle where we have the fill of this living room picture, and I'm going to go into my plugins, find Unsplash, and I'm going to go over, it will automatically sometimes land you on this editorial where you can just explore. I'm going to go into search and search living room. Then I can just kind of scroll through here and see what I like. I think this one's nice. So all I had to do was click on that with this rectangle selected, and it automatically changed to that picture. So that is just super nice and easy, so you don't have to go downloading things and uploading them and all of that. So I love Unsplash, huge time saver, and especially helps you bring life into a project where maybe you don't have all of the brand imagery or whatever for your client, or maybe, you know, the brand doesn't exist yet and you're just trying to bring an idea to life with hypothetical imagery. Unsplash is the way to go. The next plugin I want to show you is called Find and Replace, and this works for text. So it basically finds any instance of a word and you can replace it with something else. So for example, what if we wanted for Fernie to be spelled differently? Right now it's F-U-R-N-I. What if we wanted to spell it F-U-R-N-Y? So I'm just going to hit replace all. And now when you go in here, you can see that Fernie is now spelled differently. So this works really well if you especially have like a spelling error, or maybe you have something templated where you have like client name in there and you want to update it with the real client name. That can be really helpful, and that's a very realistic use case that I've used in the past at several companies I've worked for. So Find and Replace is super handy and definitely a time saver. Next, I want to show you clay mockups. So let's say we want to mock up this mobile version. We can use this plugin to do that really, really quickly. So we'll go into Clay Mockups 3D. And since I have this artboard selected, it's already kind of updated this mockup. And you can see you can really get super detailed with how you want it positioned and all of that. You can also use these presets to position it. You can use different devices, and you can even change the color of the device. So maybe we want to do this burnt orange. Then you can save this as an image, and it basically will export at whatever quality you've selected. Number 5 is Instance Finder. So this is handy if you have tons of components and tons of instances and you want to find a specific one, or just keep track of where you have those instances, and go and find something specific that you want to edit or something like that. So we're going to go into Plugins Instance Finder, and I'm just going to select on one of our components. So I'm going to select on this component here, and then on the current page, I want to find all of those instances. So I hit find, and you can see that on the current page, there are 5 instances of that component. So let's go in here and do it again. In the entire document, find, you can see there's 18 instances of this. And if I click on this here, it will actually zoom out and show me, like, select all 18 of those instances. So those are literally selected. I can move them around or do whatever I need to do, kind of go and look through them one by one, or whatever is going to help me with that. And last, we have Style Organizer. So this is super helpful for catching instances where maybe we didn't implement our text or color styles. So we'll just go into Style Organizer, and I'll show you what this looks like. We'll scan this page, and anything that's red is something that you might want to address. And if you click on it, it will go and find those instances. So, okay, here I see that these aren't linked to a style. So I can really easily go in and actually link this. And so then I can refresh, and you can see that that line item disappeared because we fixed that issue. Now, what about here? We can apply off-white to that, since that's what it's supposed to be, and refresh. See how they're disappearing. Now let's do text. So it looks like we've got a lot of our text that is linked to a style, so that's great. Let's see, we have a lot of these instances that aren't linked to a specific style. So we could make that button text, for example. You could go in individually and link up styles, and you don't always have to have a style linked. It's just the best way to stay organized. But like I said, there's always reasons to sort of break the rule, break the system. If you're just trying to scrappy show an animation or something like that, don't worry too much about this. But if you're trying to really polish up a file, then that is a really good way to get that done. Everything that I've shown you in this lesson is completely free. So feel free to go check out the Figma community, download some of these plugins, and experiment with them yourself.